Tonight, my excursion starts right here in front of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power Headquarters here in downtown Los Angeles. Sunday night, April 19th, 2026. It's about 10:30 p.m. It's a cool night. Thought I'd just take a walk down Hope Street here in downtown LA. See some of the sights, see some of the lights, and see what else the heck I can come across here on Hope Street. Starting right here in front of LADWP. And those fountains over there are raging. Very beautiful fountains. What's up, everybody? My name's Chris Koser. And as mentioned before, just gonna take a cruise down Hope Street, see what kind of cool stuff I can come across, and thought I'd start right here in front of LADWP Headquarters. And this is Late Night LA, and I'd love for you to come along with me. So let's get to it. I always like the look of this little fountain kind of reservoir type situation they got up here. Right on top of the parking structure. Very cool. The glimmering reservoir with these awesome fountains right in front of LADWP Headquarters. The LADWP building. And I guess it's supposed to look like a giant palace floating on water. LADWP. Kind of a boxy tower, but it's really cool. I always like the design of this architecture. Looks like they have some nice drought resistant landscaping. They better. LADWP, they're always trying to get us to get rid of our grass in favor of this kind of stuff. Aloe vera type succulent kind of landscaping. Department of Water and Power, City of Los Angeles, General Office Building. Dedicated June 24th, 1965. The Seal of LA. Founded 1781. Old city. Old city nonetheless. Maybe not as old as New York City or Chicago, but LA, old city here in the western United States. The LADWP building, John Ferrero building. This place looks like a floating palace at night. When it opened in the mid-60s, it was the largest all-electric office building in the world. And they keep these reflecting pools not just for the aesthetic, but because they're actually part of the building's air conditioning system. Department of Water and Power. Fortunately, right now, this is as far as I can get. It's pretty cool that all this water is actually utilized for the building's air conditioning system. And you got to keep the fountains going to stir up all that water. Very cool. Hopefully the LA Department of Water and Power is doing something about all the streetlets that are unlit in the city. It's actually a really beautiful building in there, if you ever have to go in there. More succulent landscaping. I like these big potters. Kind of see it in the darkness. As I mentioned, I'm making my way down Hope Street tonight. Just gonna see what kind of stuff I can come across. I know I'm gonna try to pass through the LA library, see if I can get through, but it is kind of late, so they like to close all this stuff down. Then if you look across the way, you got the Music Center. You got the Amundsen and the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Then you got Los Angeles City Hall, splitting the gap. Then here, the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Back in the day, before the Oscars moved to Hollywood, the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion was home to the Academy Awards for about 30 years. Man, imagine seeing all the motorcades rolling through here in the late 70s. A sight to behold, nonetheless. Beginning right here on Hope and First. won't be getting a Metro bike. And it looks like there's only one left anyways. I'll be going on foot. Won't be needing a basket either. Although it looks like someone left their drink in there. I don't know if it's coming up in the darkness here. But I think I'm gonna keep on cruising down Hope Street. Just thought this would be a good place to start my mission. Love these fountains. I love this giant fountain reservoir on top of the parking structure you got down there. I did do a little music center walkthrough on a previous video. You can check it out. Downtown LA, LADWP. Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Then you got the Walt Disney Concert Hall right over there. There has been a lot of talk about making this whole corridor, Hope Street, Grand Avenue, a lot more pedestrian friendly ever since, you know, the LA Olympics are coming here in 2028. Not sure what that entails exactly, but there's definitely talks happening, so we'll see what may come out of it. So First Street and Hope. A lot of hope for Hope Street. Then as I make my way down Hope Street, it does look like we got some construction coming up here. It might be Metro related. I was planning on walking down the sidewalk down there, but I can also go this way. Gracias, Gustavo. Gustavo Dudamel's final season here at the LA Philharmonic Walt Disney Concert Hall. And he's been here for going on like, I don't know, 30 years, maybe 25, maybe not that long, but. Downtown, Hope and First. Another one of these cool new bus stops. Get some entertainment while you wait for your bus. This one's a lot cleaner than the one on Hill Street that I saw. But yeah, you can't sleep on those seats. Different heights, individual seating. Lock. Huh. Plant-based food and drink. Got some retail in there. Looks like it's over there next to the subway. 121 South Hope Street. Nice little porte-cochere here. Private drive, residential use only. But the sidewalk kind of meanders through here, so oh, those are cool. I like that glass waterfall. Beautiful. And they got a beautiful lobby in here. Some pretty chandeliers. You can come across a lot of beautiful chandeliers in these buildings downtown. The promenade. Some of the hope I hear for Hope Street is to have more green space, more pedestrian first zones. So walking down Hope Street should feel less like a trek through a concrete jungle and more like a stroll through a park, which would be nice. Yep, does look like we're getting some construction for the metro up here. Too bad these lights aren't on. More of those lighting makes these walks very dark. That's the backside of the Broad. Contemporary Art Museum. Kind of covered that in one of my last walk and talk vlogs here downtown, down Grand Avenue. Guess I'll cross the street right here. But yeah, a brand new subway stop here. Grand Avenue Arts and Bunker Hill. I think this is like the Gold Line, Blue Line connection actually, which made a lot of sense because it made that whole Gold Line kind of like dropped you off in no man's land over by kind of Union Station area, but now you can catch a subway connector. Yep, bridge closed. Hope Street open though, good to know. That's where I'm heading. Looks like we only got one more month of it. April 19th, 2026. And this kind of stuff I used to see all over Japan. If you're blind, it tells you where to walk. It's like braille for your feet, kind of. Then when you get to these squares, it's like, oh, hard right. Grand Avenue Arts, Bunker Hill. Pershing Square area connections. So I guess we're right here at that rectangle. Yeah, the blue and the gold come through here. So I'm right here. So I'm going to get back on Hope Street. Then right here, I'm hoping to walk through the Bunker Hill steps, but it may be closed. Then I'm also hoping to meander through the library area to get back to Hope Street down here. But if all that's closed, I'm going to have to like go around. We'll see. Looks like you got some bike lockers. It's pretty incredible. All the progress they're making on the red line and the subway and the gold line. Really fast. All in preparation for the 2028 Olympics and beyond. City of Los Angeles actually had one of the only profitable Olympics in history, 1984. So they're not going to have to build a single stadium. Everything's already in place, all the stadiums and infrastructure. So they just got to kind of modernize everything. And that's what's happening behind me. You got a new little stop for the gold line and the blue line here in the financial district of Bunker Hill, downtown LA. Finally get a connector. This, I think, will take you over to the 7th Street Blue Line platform. Then from there, you could catch the red line and head west through Koreatown, Hollywood, all the way down Mid-Wilshire, eventually into Beverly Hills and Century City. So they're making it pretty easy to get around here. And that tunnel will take you to the lower level of Grand Avenue, all the way in through Olive. And this Emerson, they built this thing like in 2015. Looks like it's still leasing. They probably always have units available in there. It's going to be something else when this is all open again. That bridge should be open shortly. Kind of on the base of Bunker Hill right here. Got a lot more streetlights. That streetlight's out. I think they are starting an initiative to reinforce the lighting infrastructure here in the city of LA, making it a little more difficult for the copper thieves to break in. And actually, Bunker Hill, back in the day, this used to be nothing but Victorian mansions. Just beautiful Victorian mansions. They were kind of like decaying. People really didn't care about, you know, preservation or even maybe relocating some of them. I think some of them got relocated, but yeah, Victorian mansions as far as the eye can see here on Bunker Hill. Just a massive neighborhood of Victorian mansions. Then the city basically just leveled the entire hill, build these giant skyscrapers that we see today. We're literally walking on a new version of LA, a new Bunker Hill. But it is 2026 now, so it's going on 50, 60 years now that all these beautiful Victorian mansions have disappeared. They got a Danny Boy's Pizza in there. That's a nice pizza stop. Looks like a cool piece of modern art at the base of the Bank of America Tower over there. Could check it out. Might as well. I got a walk sign. The Bank of America Tower. You see this thing. This is like a landmark in the sky. It's a big square skyscraper. Cool piece of modern art though. Like 3 arches type situation. Steel girder type art. Structural steel. Kind of see the rivets up in there. Just holding everything together. Here at the base of the Bank of America Tower. I think it's about a 750, 800 footer. All these Bunker Hill skyscrapers sitting on the bones of an old Victorian neighborhood. It's cool how Hope Street literally goes up right against the LA library right there, acting as the weenie of Hope Street, as Walt Disney would call it. Kind of like the castle at the end of Main Street. US Bank Tower, formerly Library Tower, at the base of the library. Hope Street, at least this portion of it in the financial district, is always so quiet at nighttime because basically there's a little bit of residential that we passed, but this whole area is now just strictly commercial. And then you got the famous Westin Bonaventure Hotel right there. Those cylindrical, circular looking buildings, towers. Another LA landmark here on the skyline. Standing over 4th Street, where that guy's revving his engine down there. Usually you gotta get a lot of engine revvers in the tunnels and stuff. Another cool piece of modern art here in front of CBRE Tower. Almost has like a rocket look to it. I know it's not a rocket, but just that modern kind of steel, cylindrical kind of ribbon type of art. Then the US Bank Tower, formerly the tallest building here in downtown LA. Famous for Independence Day, where that tower the aliens obliterated. Just a famous skyscraper Hollywood loves utilizing, pretty much defines the skyline here in LA. Library Tower, US Bank Tower. Then over here is the Bunker Hill Steps. I'm not sure if it's open. I can see if I can go. It has like a Romanesque kind of look to it. Taking you down to the bottom to the library, down Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill Street. A lot of these cool little historical markers that you get to, if you want, you could take your time, kind of just see the old LA library right there. Out of the flames into the sky. Looks like there's a big fire in 1986 that ravaged the Central Library, causing $22 million in damage. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Continuing my journey down Hope Street, this kind of cuts through the US Bank Tower, formerly Library Tower area, takes you down to the LA Central Library, which you can see right there, shining in all its glory. Then you got a cool figure type fountain. It's not on right now, but I don't know if it's coming up in the darkness, but it looks pretty cool. US Bank Tower. I think it's a hair above 1,000 feet tall. And it used to be the tallest building west of the Mississippi. The Bunker Hill Steps. Too bad the waterfall fountains aren't on right here. The water pops out of there and down it goes. So this used to be Hope Street. I'll continue down Hope Street. I do hear water falling, so hey, they got the escalators going. That's nice. And this is the famous LA Law building. Famous TV show, LA Law. Looks like the up escalator's on, so if I have to come back up, that's good to know. Man, thinking about all that subway expansion and Gold Line, Blue Line, so cool, because imagine just coming down here from the valley or the west side, not having to worry about getting a $30 parking lot. I think it starts around like $15 an hour, or you could do a 30-day kind of $35 all day parking. But if you could just take the subway down here, the Blue Line, the Red Line, the Gold Line, changes everything. The Los Angeles Public Library has that temple-esque pyramid type. This is the side. The main entrance is over there on Flower Street. I might have to walk by it, but if I could cut through it and stick to Hope Street, that's what I'm trying to do. I'll showcase Flower Street on another night. Then the Bunker Hill steps. Staircase going up Bunker Hill to where all those old Victorian mansions used to be in the 50s, 60s, even into the mid 70s, just decaying, rotting away. Just beautiful, like haunted mansion type Victorian mansions at the base of Library Tower, US Bank Tower. Then you got the Biltmore Hotel over there. Just another beautiful old hotel you have here in the City of Angels. Haunted hotel, the Biltmore. Making my way across 5th Street here at the side of the LA Public Library. Not sure how good it's gonna come out in the darkness, but pretty cool. The Richard J. Riordan Central Library. I don't know if that's coming up, but that's a newer dedication, a newer name. Los Angeles Public Library. This is one of the most beautiful libraries in the country. It's a good thing that they were able to save so much of it during that fire in the 80s. I'm sure they lost a lot of books and just kind of maybe some like walls and stuff like that, but this concrete bones are still intact. There is a walkway through the Library Gardens area to the left coming up here. See if I can make my way through there. Yep, it looks like I may be able to make my way through. The side profile, kinda. You can see that balcony up there. It looks really cool. Celebrating a century of the light of learning, 1926 through 2026. Incredible. 100 years old in this library. What a year to visit in 2026. And those are cool figures spreading knowledge, kind of displayed in the pillars. Cool little restaurant just adjacent to the Central Library. Bright. That's what the city of Los Angeles should be at nighttime. Then if you look at the top of the pyramid, there's a torch representing the light of learning. Way up there in the darkness. Yep, as I mentioned before, in 1986, the Los Angeles Public Library suffered a massive arson fire. They lost like 450,000 books in that fire. Tragic day for knowledge here in the city of LA. Then in there, they got the McGuire Gardens. Unfortunately, it's closed right now. But if I could cut through there, there's a cool lumberman's monument. It's kind of quiet and really spooky. So this would be the path to Hope Street, but you can't get through there anymore. Man, those are cool, those windows, that red. Kind of creepy. Another nice chandelier in there. Yep, that's the gate. It would continue my journey through Hope Street down there, but can't get down there. Looks like LAPD's up there. Got their spotlight on, trying to see someone. Maybe someone's on the run. Now it's behind the building. The McGuire Gardens. That whole little garden section I just walked through was essentially just traded by a land baron that used to own all the land down here. I guess he wanted to develop commercial skyscrapers. That was his intent. The California Club. Right now we are on Flower Street, so I don't want to stay on Flower Street too long. I need to get back to Hope Street, because I plan on doing a walk down Flower Street here in the near future as well. So, but as I pass by the California Club, I just can't help but admire this old brick, beautiful building. 538. More beautiful chandeliers in there. And that helicopter's going at it up there. Man, I love this black and white checkered flooring they got in here. California Club. It's a members only establishment. All members and guests must enter the north door. Beautiful chandelier. And a beautiful painting of Yosemite Valley up there. You can see El Capitan, Half Dome, Three Sisters. And over here it looks like you got maybe Mount Lassen. Not really sure, but just California beauty nonetheless. The California Club, and I love this ornate ornamental detail and trim they got. Cool balcony. Man, you can see another beautiful painting in that window. So the California Club here is an exclusive, invitation-only private social club. Founded in 1887, and it's located right here at 538 South Flower Street. It serves as the prestigious hub for business and community leaders, offering dining, overnight accommodations, fitness center, even a library. And it has that kind of eyes wide shut Illuminati kind of red glow to it in the windows. Very cool building nonetheless. Coming up to 6th Street, I'll hang a left to make my way back to Hope, which is down there. which Hope Street is tonight's focus. But I'm taking a little detour here on Flower. I couldn't make it. I couldn't go through the McGuire Gardens down to Hope Street. It closes at 8 p.m. The Delphi, nice kind of little maybe upscale hotel. I don't know if it's it might be a 4-star hotel. Beautiful lobby. Yep, back to Hope Street. Here's the side of the California Club. It's actually pretty big. Next to the Delphi, which has that kind of 60s looking look to it. So coming back up to Hope Street, get a cool little look at Los Angeles Public Library again. The western facade, which truly is like that icon at the end of Hope Street. You could see it all the way down. Back on Hope Street, and there she is. These trees are really big and overgrown, but so it does look like we're getting into some more lit streets. We got some street lights that are working, I think. Starting to get more of these like late 50s, 60s office blocks. Kind of losing some of its character. Some people are really into 60s architecture. Kind of that mid-century, late mid-century modern. Now we're here on Wilshire. Then we're at the base of that Aeon skyscraper. Maybe the third tallest building here in LA. Then you got the Wilshire Grand, the new tallest building here in Los Angeles. A lot of stuff released down here. Then there's One Wilshire. The beginning of Wilshire Boulevard here in Los Angeles. One of the most expensive streets in the country. Looks like we got some police activity at the base of the library. What happened there? Do you know?
As an assault.
Okay. Looks like I got taped in. Can I go under? Thanks. Coming up to 7th and Hope, which kind of marks the heart of the new downtown Los Angeles you get here. Here at 7th and Hope, really back in the early 1900s, this was pretty much the high-end shopping district. People would just get dressed up in suits and hats just to walk this exact sidewalk that I'm on right now. Kind of incredible. Looks like some modern development over there. You got a Uniqlo, some bright retail over there, and it also looks like you got a Metro. Joey, DTLA at the Sheraton. And that restaurant kind of looks busy. I see some patrons in there, and the bar looks like they're watching the Detroit Pistons maybe play the Clippers or something. Probably already on repeat, but it's getting kind of late. Looks like a cool little building entryway. Some big old chain looking things up there. Looks like the door handle's broken though. Not sure. Obviously this building's abandoned. Might have been recently broke. But it's only a matter of time before someone occupies this building. It's in prime location right here on Hope and 7th, right across from the Sheraton. In this area on Hope and 7th, they're trying to revitalize this whole area. Local businesses and residents are trying to bring more, vibrant street life, street art, sidewalk cafes. Just more things to do for, the average resident or even business person or tourist. Just kind of bringing more of that kind of Manhattan vibe here downtown LA. Christian Science Church and Reading Room. Huh. Cool neon. Looks like a spooky old church. Probably haunted. It's old brick. And it looks like they got some scriptures on display in the glass. Wow, kind of looks pretty in there. What do they want people to read? Cool old brick building nonetheless. I guess it's always been a church. Guess they're blending Christianity and science. Cool little gardens they got back there. Definitely an awesome sign. Too bad the neon's not on. And there's that building up there, Aeon. That's the 3rd tallest building in the city, formerly the 2nd tallest building in the city. Just a big square rectangle building. Joe's Auto Parks. He probably has the most auto parks here in LA. Public parking, Joe's. And it looks like they have that sign right here too, public parking, 730 South Hope Street. Too bad the neon isn't lit though. That would have been cool. Then the side profile of that Christian Science Church. I do love the wrought iron gates though. Those are cool. Then right here, the block, 7th and Metro Center. And directly below my feet is one of the busiest transit hubs in the country. This used to be a closed-off, dark indoor mall. Coming up to Hope and 8th Street right now. Then right here on the corner of 8th and Hope, we got another new residential tower. with balconies. Very cool. You are a goddess living in a city of angels. And then you can get your wings right here if you need to. Got a Phil's coffee and a Jersey Mike's. Nice. Really, all this Hope Street residential growth. We see all these new towers. Every light in the window is a sign that people are actually moving back into the heart of the city. Really, I think the hope here for Hope Street in downtown LA becomes a 24/7 neighborhood. Once again, not just a place where people leave after 5 p.m. back to the suburbs. Time will tell. Christmas light type stuff on their balcony. Just a sign that people actually live there. These are cool lights, sidewalk lighting. More of that old street lighting. I love these lights. Might be a sign that people are actually living here, but it's probably $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. Nevertheless, high price luxury living here in the heart of downtown LA. Think you could do it? Maybe if you're a rich lawyer or some kind of office worker. But yeah, it's pricey, and that's just the rent. $5,000 a month, I would say, here on average, city of LA. Probably not as much as lower Manhattan or like, Park or, Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, but nevertheless, $5,000. Like here at Josephine, DTLA, now leasing luxury apartments. Looks like you get a nice pool. The Josephine, DTLA. And it's good they have parking. A lot of these buildings that are building close to metro stops and, they get away without building that much parking. Then right here you get self-parking, $10 all day. Or if you need to park overnight, $25. Not bad. Yep, it's getting quiet here. Another residential tower. A lot of people living up in there. I'm sure it's about 60-70% full. See some TVs going. And it looks like they got a Petco next door, so that's good. They can keep their pets happy and fed. Petco is really cool because you can take your dog in there, walk around. My dogs love going to Petco, although I haven't been to Petco in a long time. But I used to bring my dogs to Petco and cruise around. Then we got the Market Lofts right here. Because you got a Ralph's Market. So you get a lot of residential towers popping up around Ralph's and Petco. Market Lofts. And it looks like they got a doorman. 888 Grand Hope Park. And they have a nice porte-cochere type. Well, it's not protected by the elements, but a little driveway. As I approach 9th Street, really this whole area, just about 10 or 15 years ago, used to be nothing but parking lots and abandoned warehouses. Had a definitely grittier industrial vibe going on, but now it's totally getting redeveloped into residential, mainly residential towers. So an ever-changing landscape you get here on Hope Street. Hope and 9th. Then you get the Hope Street Park over there with the clock tower. It's all wrought iron. You can't go through there right now, but it definitely comes in use for all these residents that live down here who walk their dog during their day. Get to go to the park. You got grocery. You get restaurants and retail. You get a panini kebab grill. True scratch kitchen. Good to know. Hope Street. 9th Street. And there's there's Ralph's right there. Actually, I used to go to that Ralph's a lot when I was down here. I think it's open 24 hours. Downtown Ralph's. Yep, I used to utilize that Ralph's a lot. I think it's open 24. But they do get a lot of characters, so they have to have security always. On 9th and Hope Street, it kind of gets dark down the next few blocks and kind of starts to thin out. You do start getting more parking lots, and maybe you get a couple new shiny residential towers, but really not much more to see. As you can see, it gets pretty dark down there. But 9th Street, it's actually midnight right now. That clock is about 25 minutes off. But this is really cool mosaic tile work right here though. But it is dark and unlit, which isn't ideal for nighttime shooting. Grand Hope Park. 7 to 7, 7 days a week. Really, Hope Street longevity. Even with all the changes over the decades, this street stays iconic. The real hope is that we keep preserving the cool old history while letting the new stuff move in. And really, as long as people are out here walking around, filming like me, I think Hope Street really does have a future. Hope on hope. I can see it. The Floral District, it's just 2 blocks over. All the trucks start coming in like at 4 a.m. Downtown Ralph's. A very important grocery store. They call it, it's like almost like you're in a grocery desert because the next grocery store is like miles away. So it's good to have grocery here. Downtown Ralph's. Yep, store hours, 5 a.m. to midnight. And it's 12:05, so they're just closed. Closed at midnight, which it used to be 24 because I would get in there after midnight, but it's kind of a good thing. You get a lot of funny characters around here causing trouble, and that's, you know, we want this grocery store to stay down here for the residents. They need it. But yep, I used to park right there. Then I would walk across the street into Ralph's and buy my goods. Well, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. If you're feeling adventurous, maybe like, subscribe, maybe say hello in the comments. It'll help me out a ton. But I do appreciate it. Just gonna call it quits right here in front of Ralph's on 9th and Hope. Is there any hope on Hope Street? I think so. Anyways, thanks for watching. Chris Coaster, over and out.